right. My name is Matt Scott from Connecticut News. Be honest, round of applause who actually knows who the hell I am. My therapist says this is fine. I am delighted to be here for two reasons. Always I come to support events like this. The first reason is, as you know, we are here to benefit the Hole in the Wall gang. They're out in the main tent to come to support events like this that help support some of the kids who really need the help. That's why you're here, in addition to the food and the drinking and the chefs. So give yourself a round of applause. The second reason I'm here is this counts towards my community service. So, a couple more of these, I got the old ankle bracelet off, we're good to go. All right, I got the good chef to introduce today, and I wonder, you are familiar with it because I know when she walked into the joint, there was a buzz going on. And I assure you, nobody does that for me when I'm on TV doing the weather forecast. That's for sure. Chef Kimberly Schlapman, I mean, she is a Grammy-winning, part of the Grammy-winning country for some little big town. You've heard of that, right? Honest to God, I was at a bar the other night and I approached a woman and I just said, I got a girlfriend. And she responded with, I have some maize here and I will use it. So really, it didn't quite work out as well as I hoped it would, but that's all right. Not only is obviously she a wonderful singer, she has been a chef for so long, inspired by her roots in the Appalachian foothills of North Georgia. I spent some time close to there in West Virginia many years ago, so I know this kind of cooking. In 2012, her lifelong dream came true when she received the opportunity to host her own cooking show, Great American Country's Kimberly's Simply Southern. Talk about all her lifelong dreams coming true. She's in an award-winning, Grammy Award-winning band. She's hosted a cooking show, and now she's sharing the stage with me. Yeah! She's going home going, who the hell is that Matt Scott guy? I have no idea. Today she's going to be preparing the best glazed apple cake. That's what she says. I'm inclined to believe her. I'm going to get off the stage. I asked her not to throw any eggs at me. She said, I won't. I need all 3 eggs that are on the table behind us right now. So without further ado, would you please do tonight, rousing,
It's my dream to do the weather someday, so.
I will put you to work. You say the word.
Oh my goodness, thank you for coming. I wasn't sure anybody would show up. Thank you so much. I'm going to get right into what I have to start with because it takes a few minutes and then we're going to chat for a minute. This is my grandmother's glazed, my sound guy would say back away from mine. This is my grandmother's glazed apple cake, and it starts out by creaming 2 cups of sugar and a cup and a quarter of canola oil. And when sing it, I got a food. Okay, I've never worked this fancy Cuisinart, so here it goes. Look at there, it worked. So when you cream something, I used to watch my grandmother cream oil and sugar and all kinds of things. And she said, you put it on and then you let it go because it's got to get really nice and fluffy. So while that gets fluffy, I'll just tell you a little bit about this cake. First of all, I grew up in North Georgia, up in the mountains, and our whole lives revolved around food. My mother taught me that that's how you take care of people. You cook for them, you feed them, that fills up their belly and it makes them happy. And my mama would show up if somebody broke their leg, if they had a baby, if they got a new job, if they lost their job. She'd show up at their house with a casserole or a pie or a cake. And it made people feel better, and cooking takes time, and I think when you look at you, thank you. That's my cooking. Thank you. Somebody put you there for that. Anyway, so my mama taught me that's how you take care of people. So I love to cook for people. I love it when I can cook for them and take it to them. I love it when I can cook for them when they come to my house. And I've said before, best thing I ever had. It's kind of like a standing ovation, and I kind of like that. So that's how I kind of equate cooking and singing. We're just going to pretend like this is already cleaned up. At my house, I'd be off doing laundry or something like that while it creams, but we'll just pretend like it's all cleaned up. Now, I've never worked this guy. Oh, that went so much better than it did back there. Wow. Okay, so I've got my sugar and my oil, and it's all creamed. And the way you know it's ready is it's really, really fluffy. So we're done with that. So I'm going to put my 3 eggs in. Here goes. I have a little girl, and her name is Daisy. And she has been cooking since she was 3. And she would make up recipes. She still makes them up. But back then, she was really heavy-handed on the baking soda. And so they tasted awful. But my husband, my sweet husband, would always eat them, no matter what. Sometimes I just pretended like I was eating them, but he really didn't. But now, she's 8, and she's learned that she really doesn't need the baking soda. If she puts enough self-rising flour in, it'll rise, and she's learned to put enough sugar and enough other flavorings like strawberries, or she'll ask for the maraschino cherries out of the refrigerator. She'll put anything in the cake. She's getting really good at it, and now we can actually eat her cakes. That's nice. I don't have to fake it anymore. That's not good when you fake it for your kid. All right. Oh, I was going to tell you about her too. Is that she can crack an egg and never get a shell in. She's like so good at that. I'm always digging on my shells. All right, so we've got this. I'm going to put in 2 teaspoons of vanilla into that. I have a dish problem. When they asked me to do this demo, I was like, oh, I would love that. That would be awesome. Can I bring my own dishes? Because I have to prove to my husband that I really do need all these dishes. So I brought them along. Also, this fall, Cracker Barrel is allowing me to do a whole line of dishes and home stuff with them. I'm so excited about it. Comes out in November, so I brought a little bit of that with me too. All right, so let's pretend like these eggs are all good and incorporated in the vanilla. And I'm going to add the flour. Now, at my house, this is where it gets messy because the flour starts to fly. And if I let Daisy mix it in, and if she's got it on high, oh dear Lord, it's a disaster. So I've got 3 cups all-purpose flour here. Get this in this little cake. My grandmother, I told you this is my grandmother's recipe, and when I was in college, that's the first time I ever left town, and I was kind of the only one to ever leave. I'm still living that down. But my grandmother would send me back to college with this cake, and so it's so very special to me. Every time I make it, I say a little prayer up to heaven. She helps me out because she made it so incredibly great. So we've got 3 cups of flour in there. Now we need some salt. These were my grandmother's, and these were my great-grandmother's little cups. So special. A little baking soda and some cinnamon. Got in there. There's our dry ingredients. Let me get that going. I'm so excited that I got to do the cooking show in the first place. I was blown away that I was ever asked. And the cooking channel, look at the mess I made. The cooking channel has just picked it up, so they're airing it on Saturdays. It's actually airing right now. It's like, it's the first time I've ever been double booked. That must mean something. I guess so anyway, the cooking channel is airing the show now, so it's on Saturdays at 2:30. So I'm hoping they're going to let me hang around there for a while.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Love it.
Thank you. There you are again. I'm going to pay you later. Okay, let's pretend that's all good. And I'm going to add my apples. I grew up in apple country in North Georgia, so I'm kind of an apple snob. And, sorry. I'm a musician. I should know better than that. That speaker, I don't need to get too close. So I've got 4 cups of diced apples. My favorite apple these days is the Honeycrisp apple. It's so yummy. I always put a Golden Delicious in just because it's sweet. And then I love the Red Delicious, I love the Gala, I love the Fuji. Just want a good mix of apples. And while I'm here, I have to tell you this. My daddy, who's 71 years old, 3 years ago he decided he was going to start making pottery. So look, He's so good at it. I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of him. And we're gonna have some of his pieces at Cracker Barrel also. We call it Paw pottery. That's his Paw. This is a Cracker Barrel piece. Okay, so we're gonna fold in these apples and get it in the oven. I've got a bundt pan over here that, had I been thinking clearly, I would have already greased, but I didn't. So I'm going to get these apples stirred in. I've never worked this fancy Cuisinart thing. There we go. Alright, so fold in the apples. You want to take it off the mixer because you don't want to beat up these apples. You'll have apple juice and then you'll have a soggy cake. Because this is actually a really thick batter. So we've got the apples all incorporated in there. And now, what I should have done before, I'm going to spray my pan. When I was a kid, this was my job, but back then we didn't have this fancy spray. We had lard at my house. And so my mama would make me get a scoop of lard on a paper towel and I'd have to rub down. I'm pretty country. I'll tell you another lard story. I've got a few. My papa was a hog farmer, so we had lots of lard. But one time, I grew up in Georgia where the summers are excruciatingly hot. And Mama stored our lard in the attic. And one time she opened the attic door and I was standing underneath the attic door and the lard fell on my head. It's the best conditioning treatment I ever had. Alright, this batter is really thick, so don't let that scare you. Get it into your greased pan. And it cooks a long time. It cooks an hour and 10 minutes approximately, depending on your oven. And this cake is incredibly good without the glaze, so if you're in a hurry or you don't want to fool with the glaze, you'll still have an incredible cake. But if you add the glaze to it, I'm pretty sure they serve it at the gates of heaven, so you should add the glaze. I'm a disaster up here. Like I lost all my elbow grease. Okay. Are you coming to our show tonight?
Oh, yeah.
So excited. You know what the band is really excited about is that this is a food and wine festival. We have a little song called Day Drinking, so we're okay with the food and wine. Hopefully we'll have enough food to take care of the wine and cake. Alright, so after I've made this glorious mess, I'm going to put this in a 325-degree oven for an hour and 2 minutes. And in the meantime, I'm going to make that glorious glaze I told you about. So, what you need for the glaze is 3/4 cups of sugar. I think this is already on, I hope. And a half a cup of evaporated milk. You know, this is the really rich stuff. If you can believe it, my grandmother makes gravy with just evaporated milk. And it is some rich southern gravy. She also makes sweet tea, like syrup. You like it that way. Alright, so we're going to melt the sugar in here with the evaporated milk. And then we need 1 stick of butter. Don't worry, you can make up for this later. You can eat a salad for supper. And then you can have this for dessert. Alright, so I'm going to figure out how to turn this stove up last night. Wheels. Mark Wheeler right here is he runs the whole show. He's the production manager. So we left at 1:30 last night, and they had to load in at 7 a.m. this morning while we were still sleeping. They're the ones that work hard. Okay, this is almost done. We want to cook it. Once this butter gets melted, we're going to cook this for about 3 minutes. I'm going to let that keep going, and I'm going to take the cake out, because after an hour and 10 minutes, it's ready. Voila! Thanks to a bunch of helpful little fairies. Okay, this This is my Daisy's job. She can go to town with a skewer. So I just let her poke holes all over this warm cake. As soon as it comes out of the oven, you want to poke it full of holes. But be careful because you've got this beautiful little crusty edge here, so you don't want to break it up too bad. So poke it, poke it, poke it, poke it. Poke the holes. Daisy has also been writing songs since she was 3. Her first song was called Strawberry Shortcake Rocks My World. That's pretty good. She was only 3. Alright, now we're going to pour that glaze. We're going to use like 3/4 of the glaze on the cake now, and it's going to sit for 30 minutes or so and really soak in there really well. This is not really done, but we're going to pretend how am I doing time? Because I got to slow down. You're good. We can let it get more done. Okay. I like to pour it if you're really, really good and coordinated, which obviously I'm not. If you're really good and coordinated, you can pour it straight from the pan, but no, I'd rather do this. It's way less embarrassing. So I've taken about 3/4 of this glaze, and you're just gonna pour it all over this yummy cake. When I was a kid, because I grew up in apple country in North Georgia, we were able to grow apples in our yard. We had apple trees, we had peach trees, and I don't know how you feel about this, but back in the day I used to get spankings with the peach tree hickories. It worked for me. My sister and I joked that we killed a peach tree or two because we had so much trouble. So anyway, my mom and I would go out in the afternoons after working so hard as a school teacher every day. She would go out and pick apples literally from our tree in the yard and come in and make an apple crisp. That was her specialty. Okay, so we're going to let this sit for 30 minutes. Now, I know that these sweet fairies made me another one. Oh, here it is. Okay, Mr. Rick, I can't remember. Was this one already glazed? I don't think it was. Isn't it pretty though? Alright, there's one. I'm actually going to flip out this glazed one because if you taste it, I'd rather you taste it with all the glaze. But just know that it should sit for a while, so it's not up to par, but it's close. You know what I didn't get was something to flip out this one on. So I could move this little guy to a plate. You guys would fit on. And then, thank you, Katie. This is Katie. Katie is little but mighty. So let's flip this little guy out onto this cake plate. Alright. Oh, it almost worked. Okay. Now, with the rest of the glaze, where's my little cut here? A little picture. Did I tell you I have a dish problem?
Yeah,
I have about 16 of these creamers at my house. So now, ideally, if I let this cool for a few minutes, it would be thicker, and so it would kind of stick to the top of the cake a little bit better. But, since we don't have all that kind of time, you just do it and it makes a pretty little glaze. And this is resin. There's an apple cake. I can show you my sweet little dishes from Cracker Barrel Lounge. So, there's a couple of little sweet wrap. Finally, it was another way I could prove myself to my husband. See, my dish problem is really going to pay off. Alright, so I think we can serve some of this. Just remember, I'm kind of a perfectionist. Just remember it's not flat, right? So we had to rush it along. There it is. Do y'all have any questions for me about the cake or about anything? I'm pretty much an open book. Yes.
Me? All me?
No? Well, you got... Do you have one? No.
We love you.
Thank
You
you.
can travel and part the entire painkiller.
Oh, thank
Down the
you.
East Coast.
Thank you very
Since New
much.
York. We have gone up and down the
you very, very much. We as a band have been together for 17 years. Yeah, a very long time. Karen and I started the band. We went to college together. And we like to joke that we actually met in kindergarten because it really sounds so old. But truth be told, we met in college. And we decided to put the band together shortly after that. And we thought we wanted to do something together in country music. But we thought, wouldn't it be so much more fun if we could add boys to the mix? And so we found Jimmy and Philip, and that was 17 years ago. And this past summer, Jimmy had to have, he's the brunette, and both of the boys are so handsome, but the handsome brunette, and the one that you're in love with. He had to have emergency vocal surgery, so we took 2 months off for the first time in our whole career. We were home all summer, and I was cooking up. It was awesome. But we're so happy to be back out here on the road now, and so excited about being here today. It was nice and so much fun. Anybody else? Yes.
What is your favorite meat dish that you've ever made?
Oh, a salad, remember?
What is really?
No, hey, I don't care about the calories. You know what I learned from Dolly Parton? She said one time, if I'm going to eat some biscuits one day, I'll have a salad the next. And that's how I feel. I love food. I grew up with good Southern food. And so if I want to go to my mama's house and have biscuits and gravy, I'm going to do it. And tomorrow I'm going to have a salad. So what would I have with this? Well, if I was having company over or something, I might do a pot roast and some nice sauteed green beans and a little, I like salads. So maybe a little salad on the side. And then apple cake and coffee, or, you know, I was wondering today, I was hoping nobody would say what wine would you pair with your apple cake? If Karen were here, she could answer the question, but I don't know, would it be a red? No. Don't say that. It would be a white, that's what I meant to say. White wine. I'm so hoping I get to see Kathy Lee Gifford, she could tell me. I'm kind of a super fan of Kathy Lee Gifford. The cake's kind of falling apart because it didn't get to kind of do its thing. So you can forgive that because you're good people. But when you do it at home, it's all perfect. Yeah. Oh, for daydreaming. It would be whether, are we trying to daydream to go all the way?
Into the night drink.
Okay, oh wow. So I have a little layered salad in my cookbook that could be great for some afternoon day drinking, and maybe some ribs or something in the afternoon. Yeah, soak it all up. And if we're going to the night drinking, we gotta get out the carbs so that people don't get crazy. I don't know if my time is up.
You get 4 minutes.
Thank you very, very, very much. Yeah, I'm signing cookbooks at 2:45. Come see me. Thank y'all. Thank you for being here.
That cake's great.
Just get people Hey, Lynn. Hi, babe. How are you? How are you?
Guys, how did you like that food there?
It's very good. It's amazing.
Really good?
She's on the
Awesome. How did you guys like the what you tasted?
Delicious. Excellent.
Very good. Very good.
Get your October issue? These are for her.
How are you liking it?
Loving it. Fantastic. And she is too.
Will we be going to her show later?
Yes.
Yes?
Definitely.
Awesome.
You don't need a big piece.
I did. I saw them last night. I was so happy. Oh, thank God. They look good. They look great.
Hey ladies, are you enjoying the food?
Very much. Delicious.
Yes, and what wine are you drinking?
We are having the rosé.
Awesome, and does it pair well?
It actually pairs pretty well. I might go red wine though for
red wine?
an apple cake.
Awesome. Enjoy your day, guys.
Yeah, is she here today?
Yeah, she's definitely here. She's got dark hair. So it's going to be like a surprise when I look back at
Yeah, about
just leave it. Absolutely. We're good. We'll take care of that. Can we take one? Yeah. Right? Sorry, guys. Hey, guys, Kimberly can in 5 minutes. She has a 2:45. Can I throw this over here? Yep, cool. All right, guys, we're going to go on you.
Thank you. So are you?
And ready? 3,
we get the
2.
cookbook out?
I will.
Hey guys, it's Skylar from Skylar's Foodie Finds, and I'm here with Kimberly Schlapman from Little Big Town. She just did an amazing demo of the apple cake. Amazing.
Thank you. I love that cake. It has my whole heart. It's from my grandmother. And she now is in heaven, so it's really special.
I mean, it looked heavenly. So tell me about this cookbook. Oh Gussie, it's called?
Yes,
What is
Oh
Oh Gussie?
Gussie.
Oh look. Oh, I just happened to find one. Wow. So tell me about Oh Gussie.
Oh, Gussie is just a good Southern saying. It means all kinds of things. It means I'm really, really excited. It means, oh, this is really delicious. It means,
I need to start saying this.
I dropped the biscuits on the floor. It means everything. It's just an exclamatory.
You can just say it with anything.
Yeah, you can say anything.
So what inspired the recipes in here? Do you have that cake in here?
The cake is in here. It's a lot of family recipes, some recipes from my cooking show, and lots of stories. They let me tell a lot of my life stories. So
Oh my
I connect a lot of
gosh.
the recipes to the stories.
Oh, that's so
It's
cool.
super special.
So is it like a recipe and then it's like a story behind it?
A lot of them are.
So a lot of these have history.
Yes.
What's your favorite one in the book?
That apple cake is one of my very, very,
That
very
looks
favorites.
so.
And my mama's biscuits are in there,
Oh, your
which is an easy recipe, but biscuits are a feel, so you've got to make them for. It's like you have to earn your way into a good biscuit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not good at biscuits, but I guess I got to buy
You
Oh
can
Gussie.
be.
Yeah, so you're performing later.
Yes.
Exciting.
Yes.
So great. What do you guys like to eat after that? What are you
Oh
gonna
my goodness.
schmooze on some wine?
I know that we're trying to get them around as much of this festival as we can.
Yeah.
We don't every day come to a festival like this.
I mean,
so
it's awesome.
I know that some of the band and crew have already been nibbling and sipping out
Sipping,
there.
little day drinking.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for these good bills because I've heard they're around. I just want to be able to get there.
Yeah, right?
Kimberly, on Periscope, people want to know when's your next location you're performing and what's your favorite food?
Oh, okay, so we're here tonight in Greenwich. Tomorrow night we go to Beer Flats, New York for another show, which is next week.
Okay, yeah.
And then my favorite thing to cook or eat? Cook. I like to cook sweets. I like to cook anything, but especially sweets. Absolutely.
What's your favorite thing to eat? Sweets.
Southern food, Southern food, yeah. I have a sweet tooth.
Yeah, it sounds like your daughter does. You were talking about your daughter Daisy.
She cooks.
Tell me about her. What's your favorite thing to eat with her?
Well, she loves sweets. Now,
Sweets will get ya.
she eats a lot of chicken, so that's good. And
That's
fruit.
good.
So we're always making like new ways to make a fruit salad.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing.
Oh, that's great. Awesome. Was there anything else we should know about Oh Gussie and what you're doing next?
Cooking show. The show, my cooking show.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I'm
Tell
so
me about.
excited. It's now on the cooking channel, which just thrills me to the bone.
So great.
On my show, I go to a location and I spend a little time there learning something. Like, for instance, I spent the day on a lobster boat learning about lobster fishing. I spent the day at a goat farm where I learned about making goat cheese. Then I'd come back to my house on the second part of the show and I cook a dish or some dishes inspired by that visit, what I learned from that visit.
Yeah. So it seems like you have like a story behind every thing you cook, which is really cool. So that show does that too. I'm so excited to watch it. Well, I know I can watch it now, right? It's rerunning on Cooking Channel.
Every Saturday.
Amazing. Great. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me.
Thank you.
Oh,
very
Gussie,
much.
I'm definitely need to make these biscuits.
Yes, you're gonna make this.
Gotta make the biscuits. Thanks, guys. Tune in next week. See you later.
Come on.